shortly, okay? All right, we'll get started here, you guys. Good morning, good afternoon in the East, actually, Northeast area. Thank you for joining us today for our first ever virtual ceremony celebration with Navigate Reconnect. With the recent events happening in our nation, we just wanted to take this time to not only celebrate, but recognize adult learners across the state of Tennessee. We know these learners as Reconnectors here in Navigate Reconnect. Just to give you a quick review of Navigate Reconnect, we are the regionally based component of Tennessee Reconnect, which focuses on offering adult students a single point of contact for college navigation and support services. Tennessee Reconnect, of course, is one initiative of Drive to 55, which focuses on supporting adults as they enter into post-secondary education and complete post-secondary credential so they may be able to gain new skills, advance in the workplace, or just simply fulfill a lifelong dream of completing a degree or credential. We have a team of navigators in the 4 regions, that's West, Middle, East, and Northeast, who have supported these reconnectors who are joining us today to and through to degree completion. We want to take this time and give some of the reconnectors in the state of Tennessee the opportunity to share with you about their journey to degree completion as an adult learner. With that being, let's get started. I'll just introduce myself. I am Tony Reeves. I am the West Tennessee Regional Director for Navigate Reconnect.
Hi, I'm Dwight Fox. I'm the Regional Director for Navigate Reconnect in the Middle Region.
And I'm Tina Bishop, and I'm the Regional Director for Navigate Reconnect in the East Region.
Hi, I am Terry Conduff. I'm the Northeast Tennessee Regional Director for Navigate Reconnect.
All right, now that you've met all of us, it's my pleasure today to introduce 7 of the reconnectors that have been across the state. They're going to be sharing their story with us this morning. It's an opportunity today for us to celebrate the success of all of our reconnectors that have completed their journey to graduation. So let's just get started. We have Ms. Alicia Carlisle from the East Region, and Rhonda Bolton was her navigator that assisted Alicia. Carol Patton was a navigator that assisted reconnector Tammy Jo Hull in the Northeast Region. Dominique Jones from the West Region was assisted by Deidre Houston. Rhonda Lewis from the Middle Region was assisted by Emily Hill. Shirley Smith from the West Region assisted reconnector Brenda Mann. Tommy Lynn from the Northeast Region assisted by Carol Patton. And last but certainly not least, Mark Stooksbury from the Middle Region was also assisted by navigator Emily Hill. We want to give a special thanks to these 7 reconnectors today for sharing their story with us. It's been a long journey, and we know they're glad it's completed. So, Tina?
Thank you, Dwight. We give these reconnectors a chance to share some of their trials, triumphs, and overall success as reconnectors. These graduates will also offer real-world advice and tips for success from their own journeys to post-secondary and degree attainment. Yay, let's get started.
Hi, this is Terry again. It's so great to see you all here. And we will begin our series of questions to address to our graduates and get to hear from them. And if it's all right, if Alicia is willing to start first, we'll ask her the first question. It's what made you decide now is the time to complete your degree?
Well, I had to overcome the excuses that I had been making to myself to not go for it. I had a hard time deciding what it was that I wanted to study. So I kept saying, well, there's no point in going back until I know what I want to do. Then I realized, I can just go and get my general education out of the way. And I just went for it, and it carried me all the way through to my associates, and it's going to carry me on to my bachelor's and possibly beyond.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much. Does anyone else want to contribute to that question?
Sure.
Okay, Dominic, go ahead. Yeah.
My reason for starting back was because I got over my fear of failure. I didn't think I was good enough initially for traditional college. So after I got over that fear, then I decided to go ahead and go back and get my degree.
Good for you. Anyone else?
Yeah, if I may.
Okay, Mark.
Thank you.
Sure.
Timing isn't everything, but it definitely matters. And Tennessee Reconnect came along for me at the perfect opportunity. I had just finished paying exorbitant amounts of money to put my 3 kids through college so they could get their degrees. My wife actually went back and finished and got her bachelor's. And when I saw that Tennessee Reconnect was now something that I could take advantage of, it finally seemed feasible that I could do it too. So I took advantage of that, and I want to say thank you, Tennessee Reconnect. Thank you so much for making this opportunity available.
You're welcome. We're glad we can help. So, anyone else want to answer that question or?
Sure.
Okay.
Biggest, I just wanted a job change and a chance to go back to school for free and pursue something that I might actually like to do. Was an opportunity you can't really pass up. So I took advantage of it.
Well, that's great.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and question to Miss Tammy Hull. What are some challenges you faced as an adult learner?
I think a lot of my challenges are because just being older sometimes and having so much going on in your life with children and family and everything, it's kind of hard to stay focused. It's kind of hard to be a little selfish, you feel like sometimes, because I was going to nursing school, which is the hardest thing I think I've ever done besides being a mom. It was just really hard for me to do that because I'm more of a hands-on kind of learner. And so for me to be able to sit and read and study the extensive amount of information that I had to try to get in my head for my career was probably the hardest thing. Staying organized is a big thing. Calendar is my best friend. So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. How about anyone else? Can anyone else answer that question?
Yes, I can answer that. For me, the hardest thing was actually coming up with money to pay for college because before Reconnect, my challenge was paying for my classes. I had to pay out of pocket initially, but when Reconnect came along, then I jumped right in. And then as I got closer to my specified classes that for my degree, I saw that a lot of my classes didn't coincide with my work schedule. I had a problem with scheduling. A lot of my classes were probably like in the middle of the day. Actually, right now I'm at work. So that was a real challenge for me, just finding classes near the end to fit my schedule and my needs.
Awesome. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to add to what Dominique had said about paying out of pocket. One of the challenges that I encountered was paying for books because those class books are expensive. And I attended Pellissippi State, and it was actually towards the end of my time there that I connected with the Access and Diversity office at Pellissippi. And they extended an additional scholarship to me that paid for most of my books. And they also told me about a lending program they have for students where you can borrow a book and return it back to them at the end of the semester. So that was just one little thing that helped take some pressure off there.
Thank you. Can we move on maybe to our third question?
Okay. So we all know that you are adult learners, and as adult learners, you have a lot going on in your life. We've heard you talking about being a parent. We're talking about manage your time, working. So tell us, how did you learn how to manage your time and your personal life while you were going back to school? Let's start with Dominique. How about you?
For me, honestly, it was basically like someone said earlier, learning just using my calendar, basically, and not putting so much on me. I just decided I know how much, that I wanted to bear and tried not to overwhelm myself. So for the most part, I just stayed ahead, broke everything down into days of the week, when I had something due. If I had tests on Wednesday, I'd do all my tests for my classes. If I had a paper due on Friday, I did, work throughout the week. And also on the weekends, I wanted that time to be free. So I got away when I wanted to clear my head and, just kind of balanced it out by just kind of keeping track and having a calendar and staying just on top of everything.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Does anyone else like to answer that question for us?
For me, I found a balance from the support of my family. I found what worked for Brenda, and the LRC was my second home. So finding balance worked for me in regards to the challenges that I faced.
Perfect. Thank you. How about you, Brenda? How did it work for you?
Well, finding that balance worked for me because it allowed me to study and have that quiet place and that quiet time at the LRC. And my wonderful medical support system, my husband and my children, and my navigator allowed me to build that system that I needed so that I could be successful in completing my education and finding that time where I could study and just be to myself.
Thank you. Mark, how about you? I've seen you eating breakfast occasionally. Did you study while you're eating breakfast?
You know, I maybe this paradigm just comes with age. I don't know. But it's been my experience that if you really want to do something, you're going to make it happen. And I had purposed in my heart that I wanted to complete this program. I wanted to pursue a career in music, and I wanted the tools necessary to do that. So I just simply decided whatever was going to be required of me, time-wise, study-wise, working out a different schedule, I was just going to try to make those things happen. And God really blessed. It all came together, and I was able to do that. But it began with making a decision that I was going to do it and I wasn't going to quit. So I guess that's it.
Good. Thank you.
Before we move on to the next question, I want to hear from Ms. Rhonda too. She has good words too.
Hello. Yeah, I really feel like it's something that you have to commit to. Once you find your reason, what's in your heart and what you want to do, and you commit to it, then you have to find the time to back that up. And it's good to have family support, support from professors. I was fortunate to have a very flexible work schedule, so I was allowed to change my work days if necessary, coming in later, going earlier. I worked from home a lot, so all of that was just really helpful with me. I know that it is a challenge, but when you have a good support system and support from your family and your friends and the discipline to say no when you have to, it's very helpful. And I agree. Also, I think as you get older in life, it's easier to prioritize things, and you want to work harder, and you want to put that extra effort in to succeed and do well at what you do.
Perfect. Thank you. Tony?
Thank you. So I know a lot of it we've been mentioning, like the support, management, time management, things like that. So can you describe what support was like throughout this process, whether professors, family, friends, colleagues, if you did motivational videos? I'll actually start with Mr. Wynn. We spoke previously, and I just enjoyed what he said, how his support was. So we'll start in that part of the region.
Well, support went from everybody from family and friends, just encouraging you, to your manager and people at work, understanding about your situation. But the biggest part is the school. They have a lot of different support services there available if you just know how to seek it out. And I remember like my very first semester back, I didn't really budget for books because I didn't know quite how expensive it was, and I was a little bit food insecure that month. And then I found out that they had a food bank and food drive that could help you get past that time. They even had a program to help me get gas to go back and forth to school. So it was a big part of it. It's a little bit of everything, but having a good institution that has those kind of programs in place was really kind of the sign factor.
That's awesome, Mr. Wynn. Thank you for sharing that. How about you, Miss Carlisle?
I was really fortunate, like Rhonda, to have understanding supervisors. It would have been possible to do it, on my own, but it was super helpful to have their understanding and for them to be flexible with my work schedule. And of course, my family has been fantastic. One memorable moment was when my car broke down on my way to take my lab practical in a snowstorm on the interstate. And my sister-in-law and my mom and my papa all came together to make sure I got to school to take that exam and help me to get a new vehicle. So.
That's awesome, Miss Carlisle. Dominique, what about you? How was your support system throughout this process?
I had a really good support system from my family, my parents. They were always encouraging. My significant other, his mother, and then I also had friends at the same time that were going to college and getting their degrees as well. So we all kind of, supported each other. Also, my significant other, he was getting certifications at the same time. We helped each other study throughout. Also, Deidre Houston was a great help. She checked on me periodically through the semester to see how I was doing, keeping me updated on, things that were going on and if I needed to meet deadlines. Also, you, Tony, you were a big help. I spoke with you a couple of times and you helped me through. And some of my instructors, Bill Turner was a big help. He helped me with a lot of stuff with like class substitutions. Lane Roberts was a good help too. She was another instructor of mine. So pretty much my family and my friends, and also my job, they work with my schedule a lot. They did a good job with like, understanding if I needed to leave work a little early to get to a class. They were also understanding.
That's awesome, Dominique. Thank you. I think we have plenty of time. So, Mr. Mark, I'd like to hear from you too. I spoke with you previously as well. So, describe your support system also for us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, obviously, I want to thank Tennessee Reconnect, the program, and Emily Hill, who was a big help to me. She would send me reminders about things, touch base with me to make sure everything was going okay. And so a special thank you to her for all of her help. But then I also got a lot of support, obviously, from my family, and I expected that. But I received a lot of support from my boss, Tim Dodd. A special shout out to him with Tennessee Farm Bureau. He helped me work out my schedule, made arrangements for me to be able to use vacation time to attend classes in Franklin. I would drive from Columbia to Franklin for my classes. A young man that works in maintenance, Ben Wharf, covered for me when I was gone, and I probably need to buy him a cake. He just did. He went above and beyond, and I appreciate that so much. But then also with my instructors, the ever effervescent Dr. Mark Lee, my music teacher, taught me theory, guitar, piano, and he said he didn't eat lunch, but I think he actually skipped lunch in order to work with me and help me get some things, help me understand some things. So I appreciated that. And then Miss Kathy Hudnall, another instructor, teacher, did an excellent job, spent a lot of time and went into great detail to help us understand what we needed to know. And then finally, Miss Judith Morehouse, my voice teacher, worked diligently and worked with me and just helped me to improve my craft. So I really want to say a special thank you to each of them as well. Nobody does it on their own. We all need people to support us, and I'm God really blessed. I had wonderful support.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. I'm sure you all, who all you're listening in, know that his studies were in music. And I want to ask you too, Miss Tammy. I didn't really get a chance to speak with you, but I know we've kind of just mentioned time management, things of that. But we know calendars and things play a part. But what was your support system like?
Well, mostly, honestly, it was my daughter she was my biggest support. I wanted to go to school when she was younger, but being her mom was the most important thing to me. So I kind of put that off till she was grown. Now she's an old married lady. So, but my husband's been a great support. I mean, he's worked hard to pay our bills and keep things provided for us. And I have a good friend named Karen that we've been friends for almost 25 years. And she's been a great help to me. And I had several teachers that were very encouraging and they always try to help me get through those hard times. And I really want to give a special thank you to Miss Walker at school, the counselor. I think she became my new best friend. So that was a great help, that resource, because there was many times that I could just call her at the last minute and get to go in and just vent to her a little bit about how I was feeling overwhelmed. And she was always very, very encouraging. But I had a lot of people that helped me, but I just really want to say thank you to my daughter if she sees this.
Yay, Miss Tammy, that's wonderful. Thank you all.
Okay, we'll go to the next question now, and I think we'll start with Rhonda. It's been a while since she's spoken. What are your next goals and plans now that you've completed your degree?
Well, actually, I'm not sure if I'm going to go on further with to further on into a bachelor's degree. I really wanted to complete this because it's something that I started so many years ago. I'm very fortunate to work in the same field for over 20 years, and I absolutely love my career. I'm a procurement coordinator for a nonprofit educational cooperative in school nutrition. But I would like to get my accreditation in my field, and that is something that I had looked into in the past and didn't realize that you had to have at least an associate's degree to even take the test for accreditation. So that's my next goal is just to study for that 4-hour test. I hear it's pretty grueling, and to get my accreditation for school nutrition specialist. And like I said, I'm very fortunate that I enjoy my career, and I know that school is important and education is important regardless. And there's a lot of people at this time in life that want to do something, or they always dream to do something. And I encourage people, if you're not happy with what you do, make a change. It's never too late. But even if you are satisfied with your career and what you're doing, there's still nothing wrong with going back and completing a degree, learning something new and taking, classes. So I'm very fortunate and appreciative to Tennessee Reconnect for allowing me to be able to do this.
That's right. It's never too late. What about you, Mr. Wynn? What are your goals now?
So I'll be starting MTSU here in the fall. I got a scholarship to go there. That was nice.
Okay, that's where I went to school.
So I'll be studying supply chain management, and I'm gonna try to get my master's, or I'm gonna try to take the LSAT and go to law school.
Wow. Great job.
Yeah.
Well, not a great job yet. We'll see after I take the test how it goes.
Yeah, you'll do great.
Yeah, I want to keep going as long as people are going to keep giving me scholarships and let me go for free. That's what I really
Good
got.
job.
Really gave me that opportunity
Yeah.
that first semester to get good grades in that first year, and from there the scholarships have just really been piling up from all different types of sources. So like I'm just through this fall, I have enough to cover me through the semester without even working, just through scholarships. So that's pretty nice.
Oh, that's great. What about you, Dominique?
The same. I am definitely going to go ahead on and get my bachelor's. I have got offered a scholarship also from MTSU, and I'm thinking about going to Memphis, though I may consider just going to the University of Memphis, but I definitely want to get my bachelor's and hopefully my master's. I want to keep it going, as far as I can go, and take every opportunity that I can, just take a hold of it, grasp it, and just go all the way.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, Rhonda, what about you?
Oh, yeah, I'd answered previously.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Then let's go to Alicia. What are your plans?
Well, right as I was finishing up my associates, the University of Tennessee expanded their UT Promise program to adult or non-traditional learners. So I will be attending University of Tennessee in Knoxville in the fall. And like a few people have said, I also want to see like how far can I go? I want to keep on going because this has been a really life-changing experience in more ways than just about, wanting to get a better job. It really changes your entire life. And I'm so grateful for having this opportunity.
Great. Mark, would you like to speak to that?
Yeah, certainly. Even prior to graduation, I had already started pursuing an independent singer-songwriter career. Roger Brown, who taught songwriting with Columbia State, gave me a great deal of guidance and insight into the industry. And so I just started pursuing that even before completing the program. Since graduation, I have a number of songs on SoundCloud, and I continue to work on music and lyrics. I'm trying to put together a very robust song catalog that can serve as a resume. I'm also trying to strengthen my online presence using Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube. Trying to get my music out, make connections with other people that are interested in that particular genre that I'm working with, which is blues and soft jazz with a Christian influence, Christian lyrics. So yeah, I'm going for it.
That's great. Did everybody answer? Tammy, did you answer? I'm sorry if I missed you.
Should we go ahead and go with our last question? I'd love to hear from everyone on this, but Miss Tammy, if we could start with you, what advice would you give current and new reconnectors?
I would just tell people to go for it. I mean, it was something that there came a time in my life. I didn't mention this earlier, but it was almost 20 years ago. I started nursing school once before. I got accepted, did everything, and I had some family and health issues that came up and different things. And so almost 20 years later, Reconnect comes around. And so it was just a blessing at the time in my life that program got started to be able to help me to be able to do this right now. So I mean, somebody mentioned earlier about how insecure they are. I mean, I'm very insecure and I'm a very anxious person. And so I'm sure I drove everybody crazy throughout all of this process because I have such a fear of failing. But I honestly still can't believe that I graduated because nobody else in my family has ever went to college. And so I'm very proud and honored to be able to be the first one in my family to be able to get a degree. And I thank Reconnect for that.
Wow.
Thank you, Tam. That's wonderful. We really appreciate you sharing with us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Miss Brenda has joined us. She had some technical difficulties. I'm wondering if Miss Brenda, can you hear me?
Yes.
Could you answer the question, what advice would you give current and new reconnectors?
My advice to the reconnectors would be never give up. Find your place at your school. Find your support system at your school. Tap into your resources at your school. That's your student center, your LRC, your navigators, your administrators. Tap into your resources. And I will finish by saying, be strong. Joshua 1:9, be strong and of good courage. Never, never give up.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Who else can answer for us? I'd love to hear from everybody.
I would like to add, for a new reconnector, I would say don't put too much on yourself. Just take your time, pace yourself. Know how much you can bear. Know, what you have going on currently. Everyone's situation is unique. So basically assess your situation and then go from there to figure out how many classes you're able to take. Also for a reconnector that's been in for a while, I just say keep going. Also, as Brenda said, tap into your resources. There are a lot of people I know within the Reconnect family and people who help coordinate this program that are here to help you. And also at your school, whatever resource that you can, they have several different resources. Just make sure you ask questions as well. No question is a dumb question or a redundant question. Just make sure if you feel that you're coming into a rut or you feel yourself is running into a wall, make sure you reach out to people because they are here to help you and want you to succeed.
Thank you. Thank you. Who else? How about you, Mr. Wynn?
Let's see. For new reconnectors, I'd say, kind of along their lines, don't overcommit in the beginning. Kind of take a slower pace, figure out how it fits into your life and your schedule, and then try to increase from there. Get to know the school resources. Like they said, it's really important. There's just so much available on the campuses that you wouldn't be surprised. And then my last one is just get involved with the school. You, it's once you get involved in a club or something like that, you feel a little bit more kind of a relationship, a familial setting with the actual school and the students, and it actually helps you with attending and with your grades because you have people that's just kind of you can reach out to help, and most of the clubs have some kind of advisor that usually knows a lot about the school and the system already. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. And then get involved helps build up that resume, try to get scholarships if you want to continue your education.
Thank you. Who would like to go next? Or I can volunteer someone. How about you, Mark?
Okay, sir. Well, I guess not to commit copyright infringement, but I would say just do it. No one else is going to pursue your dreams for you. They're all too busy pursuing their own, and they should be. No one's going to come looking for you to give you an opportunity. But opportunities are there if you're willing to look for them and take advantage of them. They're there for the taking. So if there's a goal that you've always wanted to pursue, then you initiate the action toward that goal. You find out what's required to fulfill your dream. Don't wait for someone else to reach out for you. You reach out to them. You make first contact and you find out what's required and then you make it happen. And then finally, because I am in the ministry, I would say, as you pursue your dream, I pray that God will bless you, that God will guide you into his perfect will, and that he will grant you every success.
Thank you, Mark. How about you next, Alicia?
So maybe this is more encouragement than practical advice, but I know that, being an adult learner comes with its unique challenges and struggles, that there's also some unique benefits to going to college as an adult. I know personally, I got a lot more out of class, and I had a much deeper appreciation for the opportunity and for the subjects that I was learning than I would have straight out of high school, where I might have just taken it for granted. And as an adult, going back to a classroom setting, you're bringing a unique perspective and your life experience, which is especially helpful in English and philosophy classes I've found. So I'd like to try to focus on those positives, instead of saying, why did I wait so long? It's too late. There are some real benefits there. Um, and I kind of draw strength and inspiration from that thought.
Awesome. Thank you, Alicia. I think we have Miss Rhonda left. Will you answer that question?
Certainly. Yeah, I feel like what Alicia said was spot on. I think going back as a non-traditional student or an older reconnector, you do have so much more of an appreciation for what you're learning, and also for the opportunities that you have. And I would certainly say that you need to find your why. When you make that decision to do it, there's something that's feeding that fire, and you just don't need to forget that. Stay focused. And I agree with the others. Start slow, so you don't become overwhelmed and give up quickly. But then once you get into the groove, you just kind of know. And I think as you succeed and you do well, or you accomplish things that you didn't think you could, it gives you even more encouragement to continue. The time passes by so quickly. You think, oh, well, working full time and having a family, I can only take 2 classes, or, you have limitations, but, the time passes quickly. And I found myself looking at the class schedule and thinking, oh, I'd like to take this, but I'd also like to take this. You're so much more encouraged about what you're learning and the opportunities that you have. Whereas when you're younger, you're just kind of doing it because that's what you have to do. But as you get older, there's a whole lot more benefits to it. So also reach out if you need help, if you're struggling with your time management, if you're struggling in a class, instructors, the navigators, everyone's very, very helpful and supportive. You just have to reach out and ask for help if you need it. So, and again, it's never too late. Stay committed and just work at it.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Did I miss anyone to answer this question? Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add? Any parting thoughts or final things that you wanted to say that you hadn't had a chance to say?
Yes, I would just like to thank the Reconnectors, Miss Shirley Smith, Miss Rebecca Reeves, my support system, my husband and my children. I would just like to thank them, and thank Dyersburg State Community College for supporting me and being there for me and giving me all the tools that I needed to be a successful graduate. So I just want to say thank you, and to you all for the event today. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Well, thank you all for being here. And we do want to take a few moments just to recognize all of the graduates here. We want to congratulate them for all their hard work, and they've accomplished their goal, and they're going on to bigger and better things from here. So we're going to start with Alicia from Pellissippi State Community College, got an Associate of Science in General Science. And next is Tammy Jo Hull, Northeast State Community College, got an Associate of Science in Nursing. Then Dominique Jones, Southwest Tennessee Community College, Associate of Science in Communications. Then Rhonda Lewis, Columbia State Community College, Associate of Science in General Studies. Brenda Mann, Dyersburg State Community College, an Associates in General Studies. Town Nguyen, Northeast State Community College, Associate of Arts, in Economic Finance, Management, Marketing, and Business Administration. Mark Stooksbury, Columbia State Community College, an Associates in Commercial Entertainment Music. Congratulations to our 2020 Reconnect graduates. Great job. Yay! Yay!
Thank you. That was fun, you guys. Thank you. Yay. Congratulations. We just want to take this opportunity to just thank everyone for joining us. If you're feeling inspired, or if you just want to reach out to us just to discuss next steps of starting, you don't know where to start, you just want to know how to start, you can just contact us at the link that you can see on the screen at www.tnreconnect.gov. You can click on Talk to a Navigator that's circled there in yellow. And once you click there, it'll guide you to select Connect with the Navigator and just complete a form. It's a brief intake form, and we'll be helping you to get on your way. Again, everybody woosah. Yay, we did it. Again, we just thank you for celebrating with us. We just know this journey was not easy as it sounds. You all made it sound so easy. But we thank each and every listener, every navigator, institution, employer, professor, friend, family member, director, Navigate Reconnect, and lastly, we thank the Reconnectors who joined us today. You're such an inspiration. It was just so wonderful to hear your stories of trials, tribulations, and overall success, how you just made it through. We just thank you for taking the opportunity to join us today. We are so proud of this work, and we wish you much success in this journey. And congratulations again, class of 2020. You started, you finished, and you did it your way. Yay! Congratulations, you guys. Thank you guys for joining us.